Alright then. Hello and welcome. I'm Zilla, and this is my Ancient Gaming stream. I am playing my 5th session of Abzû, a lovely, chill game about diving in the ocean and looking at the ruins of ancient civilization. So, feel free to catch up on my previous streams if you'd like, but otherwise we will dive in, pun intended, from here. So, last week on stream, we discovered that I am in fact a robot, as you can see by my glowing exoskeleton here. And robots were used by this civilization at one time to bring what I've been calling life water out of the depths of the ocean and use it for their own purposes, and make all of the robots that we've been seeing. We also have discovered that there is an in-air component to this ancient civilization. We just dove down from up there, our last section, which seemed to be at the bottom of the ocean, and yet here we are with trees and birds and apparently fresh water, since we have these freshwater plants about. So let's see what we can determine. So, down below we do have more ruins below the sea level. There's a closed door here, in which we can see, it looks like another of those pull chains. So I guess we're going to want to activate something via those. Our structures here, our patterns, our colors, very much what we've been seeing elsewhere in the game. Very much the same type of structures built at the same time, and yet the implication is that they were once above the water, at least in terms of the city's interior. So the society seems to have built an underwater city at the bottom of the ocean, but meant for air breathers. These same motifs, the same tile patterns. Ah, there's our chain. And we have these water fonts. Anomalocaris. Oh, they're beautiful. They look like ferns. I don't know them in real life, but I'm sure they're real. Most everything here has been. Structures here seem much more complex than what we've seen before. Multiple rooms with interiority of some kind. That is to say, a lot of the structures we've seen have been very public, very open walkways, open to the water and presumably wants air, but here we see something different. We see these walls that used to be around another structure. So this used to be more complex. And, what's this? That's an interesting skeleton. Let's see. Helicoprion. Some sharks. So this is not a whale skull. This looks actually a lot like a T-Rex skull. You can see the structures much more built for air than for water. I'm not an expert on animal skeletons, but those predatory teeth are kind of iconic. Anybody who's seen the Jurassic Park logo should recognize this skull, right? So what is a T-Rex skeleton doing down here? It is not looking fossilized. It shows no signs of being buried and uncovered. It is white and clean. And that suggests more recency than I'm terribly comfortable with. Maybe one of their early experiments with life water. Maybe what killed them. Who knows? But, like, it's certainly not a shark. Sharks aren't made of bone. They're made of cartilage. This is a very curious place. It's a different door. You can see a life water fountain inside there. So this is presumably, yes, this is what we need those chains to turn on, presumably. Access one of them anyway. They built very tall. If this was once in the air. I mean, they had the space, I suppose. Huh. Another shark sphinx. We could presumably meditate around here. Let's see what we can see. A helicoprion with its characteristic blade saw teeth. I have seen these before. They are very wacky, aren't they? Terrifying looking. Gotta love the ocean. Let's see what else we got. Oh, give me something else. A canthode. I wish it would get closer. I'd like to see a better image of this, since it's the same color as the wall from here. Ooh, pardon me, there's a gnat in my... There we go. It's a strikingly old, I almost said model of fish. Been spending too long in the tech of our day. But you saw the mouth sort of at the bottom and that rounded nose. Oh no, stop showing me. Oh, hi! You know, I wonder if the reason why I recognize these but haven't seen them before is because they're all from a prior age. Because I don't think these exist anymore, at least. Unless you believe in Nessie. Or maybe Champ. But I could be wrong. This is, again, very far beyond my area of expertise. I just like the ocean. tail, the face armor. Yeah, I think these are all ancient life forms of some kind. That's... well, I guess that goes with the T-Rex, but I mean, not really. I don't think they come from the same era as the T-Rex. But in terms of bringing ancient stuff back to life, and... oh, and I assumed this was a Nautilus, but this is an Ammonite. Well, I guess that kinda confirms it. Fascinating. Let's move on, shall we? Because we have more to explore here. So these pathways and porticos presumably all went somewhere once. This is not designed at random. This is not just meant to be pretty. This is designed to be used. To be walked around. And yet you also have things that appear to be built for this level. For the current air level, because why on earth would there be steps here but no walkway? Now I would have said that these are dolphins, but I wonder now if they're an older form of life, that sort of Nessie-like creature with their secondary fins. And this is clearly a life water fountain if we activate it. Ah, and it opens the way. Well, I didn't expect that to be that straightforward. Wonder how much else is above ground, above water. So did there used to be a pathway here? Between these two sets of stairs? How would you get up here if there were no water? We have our glowing Nautilus, or is it an Ammonite? Space there is above. Like, I can't look up any further, but there's light coming down from somewhere, and yet... oh! That's an interesting mural. Okay, so we have a lot of motifs that are familiar. We have the, well, potentially robots, but the people of the ancient civilization wearing their sort of customary skirt and head covering. And they're holding up the glowing Ammonite or Nautilus shell. Oh, pardon me. And then above them, the kelp, the waves, the great white shark no longer glowing, and then the stars. And what is that white thing up there? I can't tell from here at all. Just checking to see if my buttons do anything particular above ground. Most of them don't. I wonder if we can get up there. And more walkways off that way. It feels slow walking around above water, but this is about the same pace I swim to. It just feels slow. And so we can't get up there to that platform because the water doesn't reach there and the walkway is broken. But we could get there. Let's go see what that is. And it does look like I leave little trails in the water. Sometimes. I leave little trails in some of it. So we have another mural of pouring out the life water, and then we have this absolutely luminous shrubbery and birch tree surrounded by glowing white moths. Ivy. Come on, let me pick them up. So perhaps everything that was done here was done by bringing the life water. I wonder where else we can get. Look at where the water is coming from. There's a whole other level up there, which perhaps we'll be able to get to eventually. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe walking is slower than swimming. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. Boxed in by the plant life. All this water. It must be fresh water. Constructed waterfall. Now, if you've ever seen in Breath of the Wild the way that the Zora construct their waterfalls, this is really very similar, although slightly less solid. It looks like, but you can see the idea behind it. You build a wall straight up and then let the water sheet over the edge. It's a pretty solid structure. But oh, hello. There is a space through the waterfall, apparently. What have we here? Another of our hidden and a red depiction of the life water springs. Oh. The real version of what we saw in our virtual reality below. These carved pagodas tiled in blue, and look, more murals. So we have seen these before. The procession of the robots, people, bearing the life water and coral. That appears to be what we can see from here. I wonder if I can get further to one side, if we can see up to the top of the ceiling. Ah, yeah, it's just carved, like usual. But fascinating. So are there more of these? Did interacting with the virtual reality ones do something to make this city accessible? Goodness. Perhaps it's time to continue onward. Need to go up, down. It's a bit difficult to navigate. There we are. Activate this other... Alright. I'd love to see more of this city. I'd love to know where the other paths lead. But for now, I think we've learned all we can from this area. Just wondering if there are any murals in this pathway, but it looks like not. See me craning my head as if I'm actually there. Oh, wow. Hello. Hello, friend? Hi! Oh my. That is a big turtle friend. I don't know for sure. I mean, those are coelacanths, the darker ones, and those are very old fish. But those arapaimas might be modern. I don't know if we have turtles that get that big. But, I mean, sea turtles are pretty incredible, just in general. So what have we got in air here? Certainly indications that this was intended to be in air. We've got these trees, which could not possibly be here without intent. We've got more murals of carrying the life water. More of these dolphinoid things. It feels like I should be able to get up, but I think all of these barriers are too high. Help! I'm stuck in the swimming pool. Presumably we're meant to continue underwater, at least for now. What will this life fountain do? Some of these fountains, like I've mentioned before, that I'm seeing, oh, interesting, a lot of sort of Arabic Islamic design. Oh, I guess we're going this way. I'm not making us go this way. Hello, squids, ammonites, jellies. Oh. Hello. We are now much higher in the city, but I do think it's the same part of the city. And those were water lotuses. But I did want to mention that fountain, and some of these fountains look a lot like the fountains that you will see in mosques and madrasa, where you are supposed to cleanse yourself before you enter. I'm really intrigued by all of this. Like, it feels very Egyptian, ancient to modern, a lot of these designs, and I'm really curious if that's intentional. Camera angles getting weird. I don't know about that downward design there, it's a little strange. Oh, maybe this is not the same part of the city, because it presumably wouldn't ask me to leap into some place I'd already been. And there's clearly nowhere else to go here. Oh, but look! What's a heckin' Diplodocus down there? I'm coming, champ! Oh, wow. There you are. I'm gonna need to play this game again later. Oh. Oh. Yeah, those are not dolphins. Those are definitely, very distinctly, the things on the mural, even down to the glowing eyes. What are you? Something older, I presume. did all this sand come from, anyway? If this did not used to be this way. Ah, we have another door. Presumably that's what will open when I get the center. An experiment in bringing back ancient sea life? Ancient land life? But then what about those birds? Those were clearly modern birds, not dinosaurs. Now that is an elaborate fountain design we have not seen before. Spent more time on the city. Oh! There's a shark to meditate with. Shark Sphinx. I need to sit on the Shark Sphinx. Tell me about these creatures. Okay, so Gar is a modern fish, but it does look older. Got more acanthodes in here. Oh, come on, let me follow. Oh! I don't want to follow Gar and acanthodes, I want to follow Nessie. Or those strange, not dolphin creatures. I can switch, but I can't control where it switches to. It may not let me, I don't know. Ooh, Pterapsis. I don't know Pterapsis. Found that yet, so I'll have to go and check out that ammonite display before I go. It's being very stubborn, but at least I'm getting a good look around this part of the city. Elamisar. My bad, I thought it was a Diplodocus. Maybe those are different words for the same thing? I'm not well outside my wheelhouse here. Just loving it. Look at that neck. Isn't it beautiful? What a creature. Okay, let's see if we can get it to focus on one of the not dolphins. And then I promise I'll move on. Geosaurus. Wait, go back. No. Damn it. Well, that's different. Doesn't look like much special, but who knows? Well, presumably an ichthyologist would know, or possibly a paleontologist. There we are. Geosaurus. Feisty one, huh? Oh, I love him. He is my friend. Okay, let's go. So, we have some things to investigate. First is this mural. Oh my gosh, look at it. Hello, Elemasaur friend. Can I ride you, please? No. But here is our Elemasaur friend. Surrounded by geosaurs. And other fish, maybe coelacanths and ammonites. It looked like it was the same mural on each side, but we should check. Of course, it's covered in glyphs and stars. Sometimes I don't know which way my character is facing. I'm so caught up looking at the background. Dunkleosteus. No, those are ancient. I was talking about those bony fish. When we talk about bony fish as a category, that's usually what we think of as the Dunkleosteus. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. And that leads us right to where I wanted to go. So, we appear to be in Area 5, and we have found 2 of our ammonites. And, I mean, it does still look like there are 2 areas to go, and the last one may be shorter. But, how interesting. I seem to consistently miss one ammonite. Those of you who have played Journey will be familiar with this conundrum. Missing glyphs. Oh, look at that Dunkleosteus. Isn't it great? What do we have at the surface level here? Oh! I said I consistently miss them, and yet here's the third. Hello, frog! You are not ancient. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. Oh, wow. It's trailing wisteria, maybe? Oh, wow. Hello, skinks. At least I think they're skinks. This beautiful designed garden. And again, we find it in the midst of this symbol. Curious. So now I kind of want to go back and see if anything changed now that we found the third. you can see it. We've filled it in, but it's really just a marker, I guess, for the game. I wonder if there's anything it changes in terms of gameplay when you find things or don't. So, is there more to be seen up here? We have another giant waterfall that is above the pathway that we intend to take. Oh, hello, turtle. Or is that a tortoise? I think it's a tortoise. Hello. Oh, yes, we are friends. Hello, little love. You're my buddy. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure whether we can get onto this walkway over here. Not sure if there's anything to be seen at surface level beyond the waterfall, but let's take a gander, see if we can get up to the surface on that side. No, too high for us. I wonder if the city is built in cascades. If that's the edge of the previous waterfall. It's kind of hard to tell. Now that's a new architectural feature, these sort of minaret features. Again, very sort of Arabic influence. You see that sort of stuff in Morocco. Arched windows and the alternation of the tile and the plain white, although oftentimes it will be also tiled over or painted. But you'll see this a lot, especially in older buildings. It could be a bell tower or Crier's Roost. It does look like there's a whole other level up there. Probably where we'll come out next. So I guess this was the tower we came out of this time. To that walkway above us. That does look like all there is for this part. Okay. Onward. I was going to talk a little bit more about these fountains, wasn't I? So we see the two sort of pagodas that felt very much like what we saw in the virtual reality, what we interacted with there. Except these are surrounded not by structures, but by these sort of guardian statues with the heads of underwater creatures, bodies of people draped in robes, and amphorae of what are presumably life water. And then this elaborate fountain in the center with that dropped middle that I noted before. Now, one thing you will not see in Islamic Arabic representation is very figurative art. They avoid making images of nature. Well, nature more so than people. You will not see people, and you most often will not see natural objects like these ammonite shells here, or the eelheads on the figures. And part of that is to do with the religious texts. Again, Islam, not my area, but having grown up Jewish, I can tell you that there is a prohibition in the literature on making idols, essentially, on making representations. And so for a lot of Jewish and Islamic art, you will find that it doesn't contain images of people. It tends to be more abstract. Sometimes you'll get things that are very sort of like stars or flowers, or like very low level, not too complex life. But also a lot of the art is just writing, especially Arabic writing. So an interesting combination to have both here. To have people, especially people in the more Egyptian style, and then the Arabic artwork, the Arabic tiling, carving. Here's another of those basins, which I think possibly function-wise, given what happened the last time we did this, these larger basins are meant to provide, you know, a functional motivation for upward motion. Since we will be shunted up this tunnel, presumably, yes. But it is sort of an interesting feature that you will see a wide, shallow basin in a lot of madrasa and mosques. Dramatic music. Isn't that interesting? So again, around the bottom we have the procession of the life water bearers. They pour it out at the front, the ammonite symbol featured centrally, but what we have here is the shark imposed over the people. And I'm trying to understand their gestures. I wish I could get a less fuzzed out look at them. The lighting is very strange. They don't seem to be holding anything. And they do seem to have arms raised. I wonder if they are meant to be fighting it, or if they're meant to be escorting it. It's really unclear. To do. You can see down and down. They built so high. One wonders what the air pressure is like down here. Surely it is all manufactured. We can see down into where we just were, it looks like. You see that elaborate fountain light seems to be shining directly on it, but light is still too high to see. We are at the top of the next waterfall. You can see it there. So, yes, they've built their city in cataracts. No surprise for a city built around water, I suppose. Although, perhaps a little bit surprising in a city built for air breathers. Okay, so that's too high for a robot built for aquatic motion, apparently. And there clearly used to be a walkway here. Although it was cut off intentionally, it looks like. Maybe there didn't used to be a walkway here. Maybe it was always a diving board, but something was pushed over the edge. So you see the smudging, or perhaps charring on the top. That's very interesting, and I have no idea what it indicates in this instance. Wait a second. That is a shark sphinx. Oh no, that's one of the statues, never mind. Still, it seems even bigger than the usual ones now that it's out of the water. We can get a look ahead, we can see more minarets, more trees, and a rounded dome. That's interesting. Okay, off we go. I think this is taking us to the next area, because I'm not controlling this. Oh, but look at this structure! So much of it's still intact, and the figure's not merely standing about, but lining the walls. It's almost a Roman feeling to that. This is much more built up in here. This really gives you a feel of city, doesn't it? All the stairs still intact. Those maze-like walls. Can't move the camera, but I can move me. Okay, now I can move the camera. Of course, the door shut behind me. Giant ring of light. Well, I think that this is a really good stopping point for today. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I hope you've been enjoying it as much as I have. I hope you have a really wonderful week. Hey, keep learning, friends.